So before we get to talking about big data, let's take a look at some of the fundamental concepts around what data itself actually is. Now, you might well think of data as being something that you create when you're using a computer. You might be sitting there and writing a document or working on a spreadsheet and generating some data that way. And of course, that's a very common way of generating data. But there are other ways that we create data as well. Maybe after the end of a hard day at work, you go home and you relax by playing some video games online. And again, you're generating data when you do that. Maybe you've got a smartphone and you use that to send email or communicate with your friends. And again, there's data associated with that. And maybe you've even got something like a smartwatch that you use when you're exercising. And that's going to generate data about your health and your statistics and your exercise. And of course, it's not just you. You've got all your friends that you interact with on social networks where perhaps you comment on their posts or you like their posts. And again, there's a lot of data embedded in those types of systems. And in fact, as we move through our daily lives, more and more, we're seeing things like smart devices that are appearing in office environments where you've got intelligent sensors that generate information, or smart devices in the home that you've perhaps got around the house that are generating or gathering data. And of course, your home itself may have sensors built in. You might have a smart home or even an internet-connected car with some smart data that's been generated from that. So all of these different sources of things throughout our everyday lives generate data. And all of that data is something that we want to be able to capture and gather together and bring into one place so that we can then do some analysis against that data and get some information from it. So that's really the goal of working with data. What does it actually look like in terms of working with it technically from building infrastructure? Well, data comes in many different forms and many different types. So you might, for example, have data that's being transferred across a network, a series of bits, ones and zeros that are transferred across networks between different computers on the internet or within an office or something like that. And maybe that data then is stored more permanently as a file. So maybe we generate data files and we have these files of data that we want to be able to analyze. And what we might do with that data is we might actually conform that and put it into something like a database, a relational database. Maybe we've got applications that write data into a database, and that's where we want to work with that data. So wherever these different sources of data are and whatever those different forms of data are, that's what we want to be able to work with when we're working with data. And in this module, we're going to take a look at some of those fundamental aspects of dealing with different types of data and how we work with it.